Travis Mortz. This is Travis Mortz. I'm Scott Marceau. We're here for a push to stop discussion. I'm going to really focus on film in this one, being as that Travis Mortz is someone I associate in the BMX world with shooting film. The first time I met him, he was shooting 4x5 at Texas Toast, which is pretty crazy to do in the first place. A, to shoot 4x5 with any action sport, and B, to do it at an event like Texas Toast.
Yeah.
How did that go for you?
Dude, it went awesome. You know, we set out, we loaded my camper on the back of my truck. It was a 5,000-mile road trip, 2 weeks long. So when I left the house, I had to decide what I was going to bring. And at the time, I still had a digital, but I told myself, I'm only shooting film out there. I'm not hired by anyone. I don't have any reason to actually cover this event. There was no real pressure on me. And I'm like, you know, if I wasn't there last year, I wasn't there the year before. If I don't document it digitally, then what difference does it make? You know?
Right.
So,
there were so many other people shooting it digitally. You know, you want to try something different, right?
Exactly. And you know what? No one knows who the hell I am. So I just went out there. I had my Hasselblad on my back. I was fucking walking around with a 4x5. And I was like, I'm just not going to say anything to anyone, you know? And everyone came up to me. Jeff Z came up to me. Sandy Carson came up to me. And I'm like, cool. This is what I came here to do, you know?
Yeah.
I just wanted to do it differently because I knew nobody would be doing it.
Right.
And I was right.
You got some really good stuff, too. From what I remember, you were showing me some Polaroids that you just shot there, and then you sent some film, and it looks good.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I think the photo of Brock Rayford, doing the hop, Odyssey posted mine.
Really?
And that was one of the first few photos from Texas Toast that they had posted on Instagram, and I was like I shot the film, I got it developed in Texas, so I have the scans, I had my laptop in my camper, and I went to Starbucks or some shit, so I could
Wait, how did you scan it? You had to scan it at the lab?
I had them scan it.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna shoot film, and I'm gonna have this shit ready the next day like everyone else, and I did.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's like the olden days.
Yeah.
Okay, so why film? Okay, hold on, let's back up. Tell me where you're from, what you're doing out here. Give me a short life story.
Okay, short life story. I'm from Northern California, born and raised. I'm currently living in Forest Hill, which is about an hour away from Lake Tahoe. So, I'm out in the sticks, dude. My town has no stop sign, or no stoplights or anything like that. I'm out there. But I picked up a camera in high school. Not for high school photo class or anything. I found one at the flea market, and my buddy told me to buy it. So I did, and it was a film camera. It was a Nikon EM. Okay.
That's one of those old metal body ones?
Yeah. It was an aperture priority. So so my buddy Dylan, he was in high school film, photo class. So he already had the lowdown on shit. And so he showed me how to use the camera, and I didn't know anything about shutter speed because my camera didn't have it.
Right.
So I got a digital, whatever, it kept going. But I started shooting film. But I shot 15 rolls in a month, and I was not doing it efficiently, so it was costing me a lot of money.
Yeah, what film are you shooting?
Just bullshit I bought at Walgreens or whatever.
Oh, okay, C41 crap.
Yeah, I had no idea about any other film. My buddy Dylan was like, dude, get a red filter. It makes your photos sicker. And I'm like, cool, man. I got a red
black
filter.
Black and white.
But, there's no way I was about to go buy some Ilford.
Yeah.
I was going to walk. I, put a fucking red filter on some color film. I was like, dude, this sucks.
Oh, that's funny. So, yeah, you learned a lot by mistake then, huh?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. One of my first few rolls of film, I had 3 frames left, and I was driving back towards Walgreens, which is by my house, and it was my first fucking roll, and I was so anxious. I had 3 frames left, so I'm driving this, this 4-cylinder Mustang, and I'm driving it, and I'm I turn to my left, and I just shoot a frame, just for no reason. I'm on this back cut road, and there was just a median for no reason, and it was a burly median, you gotta hop over that thing, and it bent the 2 left side tires of my car, blew them both out, and my first roll of film, dude, I trashed my car, and then the car was so trash, it was such a shitty car anyways. My friends used to ride their bikes on it and stuff that I just like sold it to Pick and Pull, and I got a Lomo fisheye lens with the money.
Those things are like $80 at most, right?
They were expensive back then. What was it? The fucking Zenitars.
You traded a car for a fisheye
and
lens.
I ruined it because of photo, dude. I was invested at that point. I hadn't even seen the photos, dude.
Oh, that's funny. Damn, that's unfortunate. Okay, on that same note, I want to ask you the most unfortunate film mishap you've had where you lost a role or a role came out black and you were just devastated by it. So sometime when film really bit you in the ass.
All right, let me think.
You ever shoot with a Mamiya and not take out the dark slide?
No, I've always been a Hasselblad shooter, so
right.
the camera won't work otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
But, there's always like the development errors, like development errors, which is not so much the film failing me. However, just fucking losing roles is awful, and like sometimes when I'm developing, not sometimes, like it's been a long time since I've done this, but like I'll just smoke a little too much and I'll forget to pour my developer in, dude, and I'll just do my whole process. And it happened to me twice.
You go straight to stop?
I just go, no, I did the process of the development, but I didn't mix developer. Like I just
put warm water in or something?
Water, dude.
Oh,
like,
no.
I got this happened one time. I like got my temperature, used fucking ice cubes and shit.
Yeah.
Got my temperature 68 degrees.
Yeah.
Chilling. I just poured that 68-degree water in there.
Didn't even think about developer.
I agitated it for 9 minutes. Fixer just washed all my pictures away, dude. And I like pulled it out like the clearest film you've ever seen.
Oh,
and I
no.
was just so I mean, I guess that would be a good time because I have no idea what I lost.
Okay, well then
You know,
that's almost better that you don't know that you lost any gems.
The mystery of, I mean, there's a lot of different times that anything could fail you.
Yeah. Technology, a
yeah.
digital camera can fail you just easily.
I do have a good example of that.
Okay.
And this was influential on me. It was impacting if you, like, based on the timeline of what I've been doing. Last summer, Camp Woodward, I was shooting, I was a VIP, just like I am this year.
Yeah.
The same week, it was 1 year ago this week.
Okay.
And Chris Cole was there, like, it was fucking sick. And I had a digital at the time, I had a Nikon D3. And I had one of, like, the sick extreme disc, it was a CF card.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I'm chilling, and I get told, hey, by the way, Tony Hawk's coming tomorrow. He's going to be out on the mega ramp trying this trick for his video. Like, you want to go out there and shoot that? And I'm like, yes. Like, okay, like, I'm about to fucking shoot Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Like, that's the ultimate, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool, yes. Like, gonna go shoot Tony Hawk. So I go out there, I bring my Hasselblad, and I had a Polaroid back for it, but I bring my Hasselblad, and I bring my D3. I go out there, I'm like up on the mega ramp, dude. I had no idea how big that thing was.
Yeah.
And it was like hot as hell. I'm up on the mega ramp, shooting Tony Hawk, doing McTwists and shit. It's insane. And then I had like so many good photos. I get back to camp, and Tony Hawk was only there for the day. I mean, this dude's got shit to do.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And Tony Hawk walking through camp, you know, kind of like zoned out. I'm like, thanks, Tony, whatever. And I was working on this series, this Pro Polaroid series, where I shot a Polaroid of someone, and then I shot the athlete holding it.
Yep.
So I was like a little timid, didn't talk to him. I was like, I'm gonna go check out these photos, Tony Hawk photos. So I go into the digital media lab, sit down, everyone's like, what's up? I'm like, Tony Hawk photos, like doing this shit. Plug my card in, error.
Oh no.
Corrupt card, dude.
Oh God.
Not even joking you. And I'm like, what? I plug it into the different computers in the digital media lab, corrupt card, like couldn't do anything. And I'm like, fuck, man. Oh. And I'm like, I'm so glad I shot a couple frames on my Hasselblad, which might I add are the only frames I show people now.
Yeah.
So for the record, I did cover my ass, but but I had to go talk to Tony Hawk, and I'm like, hey man, like I like have my digital camera with like a different card now, and like so like beat down. I'm like, dude, all the photos I just took of you, like I had to tell him, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry about that, and he's like, try some card recovery program. Like this happened to my kid's memory card one time. And I was like, all right, dude. And like I took the Pro Polaroid photo, and that like was all I had at this point.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh. I go back, dude. I bought like this $80 program, recovered the card. I did get the photos back.
Okay.
But I was like, man, fuck this.
Wait,
like,
so that card just fit that one time is the
Just
only time I ever did that?
no, it's garbage now.
The card.
It's done.
Okay, and
Toast.
that fried it.
It's sitting in my ashtray in my car with Tony Hawk photos on it. I'm like, fuck this card.
That's super funny. Okay, so who are some of your favorite photographers growing up? BMX and non-BMX, all that. Because I know if I follow you on Instagram at Killing Dreams. Killing.
No G, Killing Dreams. Follow me on Instagram. You're gonna like what you see.
Okay, you quote a lot of pioneering photographers.
Yeah.
You're well read. It seems like you know the history of photography.
I went to Sierra College, which is a college.
Sierra College.
Sierra College,
Okay.
yeah. And when I was going there, they had a great film program, and one of the classes they had was history of photography.
Nice.
And like I had to take like 12 units or some shit to make my mom happy. So I like signed up for all these units, like English and math. And like the first weekend, I was like, I ain't doing this. So I knew all the photo teachers. So I was like, please let me add some classes. And I just swapped everything. I had a full load of photo classes. I had like studio, like all kinds of shit. And the history class. And like, dude, that history class like changed everything because you get to you get to learn like everything that you want to do or you've ever thought of has been done.
Oh yeah.
And it's been done better than you're gonna do it.
Yep.
So like, read about it. You know, like it's there. So yeah, that was a huge thing. And then also my teacher, my regular photo teacher, my mentor, he was also a history buff. So he projected that in his teaching. You know, when we had lectures, we weren't having lectures about like little diagrams and shit. Like we were having lectures about composition and here's some Gary Winogrand photos, you know, and like that's the shit I like. And like, you know, we're learning about light. Here's some, you know, Abelardo Morel doing, you know, making cameras out of rooms in New York.
Yes.
And it's like that's the shit I like.
Did you guys make the pinhole out of a window in one of your rooms?
Dude, we had like this, it was a darkroom door. It was a darkroom, like rotating door, and they put a pinhole in it, like painted the back of it, and we like roll that thing around campus and like look at pinholes.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that was such a great experience when I did my first one.
Yeah, it's you know, it really makes you just seeing an image projected on a wall makes you understand what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, it's just such a strange science
you know
that goes
what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are some of the most prolific photographs that are just burnt into your retinas?
Like as far as just history.
The history, yeah. Some of your favorites.
There's a photo. It's not even like one of the greatest photos, but this photo of Ansel Adams on top of his like Winnebago thing in the Yosemite Valley with his 4x5. That photo, because I'm just like, that's fucking photography. Like, that's as legit as it's gonna get. Like, you're on your fucking card to get the angle you want, and you don't care what, you know. And you know that. Have you seen the photo? Are you familiar?
I think I do know it.
Yeah.
He's just got. Does he have the dark cloth around his neck?
Yeah. And, yep. And he's like on that beast. And you know some other ones. Dorthea Lange.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you want to hear a crazy story?
Yes.
Okay. So I buy and sell cameras a lot. Like,
yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah, that's my shit. Like, I used to work at a camera store. I like learned up on camera history, and I'm utilizing it. So I found this guy with some Hasselblad stuff, and I go over to his house, right? Older dude in my hometown, and he has some Hasselblad stuff. He has this Brooks Very Wide, which is a 6x9 camera. It's insane. I've never seen one before in my life. And he had some other shit. So I didn't buy the Hasselblad stuff. It was beat up. I bought the Brooks Very Wide for $200. Like, it's a $1,200 camera.
Yeah.
Insane. And before I leave, he's like, you know, I got a couple other cameras. And he pulls out this Linhof, which, might I add, is the Linhof that I shoot now. He gifted it to me.
Okay.
So he pulls out this Linhof, and he pulls out a Leica M2R, which is made for 1 year. And it has a 35 1.4 lens on it, which is $2,500.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, like, this is crazy, you know? And so I started to get intrigued, and I'm like, dude, what did you do?
Yeah.
Like, why did you have all this stuff? You had the best large format, you had the best 35 millimeter, you had the best 120. I'm like, and you had this crazy shit. Like, what were you doing? And he was old. He was like 70-something. He's like, I used to work in San Francisco. He's like, I was Dorthea Lange's assistant.
Holy shit.
And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, I assisted Dorthea Lange with her final show.
Yeah, that must have been way long ago too, though. She was shooting in the 30s.
Yeah, 60s. It was towards the end of her life.
Yeah.
And I said, really? He's like, yeah, I helped her publish her books. And he goes over to his shelf, and he has Dorthea Lange books, and he opens them up, and his name is in there. And I'm like, holy shit, like, this is crazy, right? So I like connected with that dude, and like I helped him sell his Leica. He didn't want it anymore, and I couldn't afford it.
I just noticed you have a Leica tattoo on your arm. That is
Yeah.
dedication.
Yeah, that's dedication.
You got the f-stops and all that. I gotta check that out afterwards here.
That's all camera stuff.
That's great.
It's a problem, man. But so anyways, he was Dorthea Lange's assistant, and I was like, that's fucking crazy, you know, like that's nuts. And anyways, so as of recently, this Dorthea Lange documentary came out. It's called Grab a Hunk of Lightning. Go watch it. It's on PBS. Grab a Hunk of Lightning. Anyways, the second person in that whole documentary to speak is Richard,
that
my
guy?
dude.
Really?
And right after that, they have footage from the 1960s of him shuffling through negatives with Dorthea Lange, going through all of her work because she was dying. It was towards the end of her life. It was her final show for the New York Museum of Modern Art. The show happened 2 months after she died.
Wow.
That's how close the deadline was. And this dude that I met that gifted me his Linhof helped her.
That's
like
crazy.
he knew her till she died, and it blew my mind.
Yeah, that is pretty wild.
Yeah. So Dorthea Lange is, because of that, she's a huge impact on me because I'm like, I watched that documentary and it resonated with me in a different way, in a more real way. Because I'm like it's just it's a little more real.
I see it in your black and white portraiture, actually, I might add. It's very intimate, and there's a lot of emotion shown in it, I'd say.
Yeah.
Although I've only seen a small fraction of your work, I guess, on Instagram and Flickr, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you have, like, a portfolio website?
No, dude, you know, like every time I make a website, it's like, you know, meant to market myself and do all this stuff. And at the end of the day, like, what I want to do is just shoot. Like, I just want to shoot. I want to document my daughter's life. I want to document my life. And so it always falls to the wayside. So, you know, I just upload shit on Flickr because I'm so busy shooting that I'm, like, if I had to make a portfolio of 25 images, dude, like...
You don't even know what you'd
like,
put
my
in there.
film catalog on Lightroom has 3,500 images in it.
Yeah.
Just my film catalog, and it's like I don't even know what I would pick. And if I pick something now, like next month, I'm gonna have 20 more roles to choose from.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, dude. I just dump it. I just dump it all on there, and I don't know. That's about it. And Instagram, I pick out the good ones, but dude, I'm so far behind. Like, I got so much stuff, and
I feel that.
I don't even know what people have seen anymore because I've seen it all.
What's your favorite film to shoot?
Ilford Delta 100.
Yeah?
Yep, through and through.
Real rich black and white?
Yeah, it's a real rich black and white. It doesn't have too much latitude, but because of that, it's punchy, and I like that.
Yeah.
You know, FP4 is great too, but
HP5 I loved. Very versatile.
Yeah, HP5 is super versatile, but my brain's like programmed on 100 ISO. Dude.
Really?
Yes.
Well, because you're from fucking California. I just talked about with Kevin Connors the other night. You can get away with shooting ISO 100 any day of the week out here.
Exactly.
Coming from the East Coast to the Midwest, you got gray days all the time.
Which is lucky though.
Yeah, because you can create your own lighting.
Right,
all right, on that note, let's talk about your lighting setup. What do you use?
I use 2 Quantum Q flashes, the T4s, and Quantum Turbo batteries. Mm-hmm. It like all goes on my light stand nice and tight. It's legit with Pocket Wizards.
Pocket Wizards.
But I used to shoot flash a lot more. Mm-hmm. It's like the more rinky-dink my flash setup was, the more I used that shit.
Right.
Like, I used to have a bracket with like 2 SB28s and like a Pocket Wizard in the middle, and like some Ace Hardware shit. But yeah, now I got the Quantums, and they're legit. But I like, since I quit shooting digital, I like don't shoot flash all that much because it's more. I wouldn't say it's guesswork, but it's not as gratifying right then when I shoot the flash. So like it almost doesn't feel like all the setup and breakdown is worth it.
Yeah, the ends don't justify the meter.
I'm like, you know, I don't know where my light's hitting. You know.
Do you use meters with your lights, or do you just guess and check?
Typically, I use a meter.
Yeah.
I had like a nice Iconic, you know.
L358?
No, dude, I had the 5 Series.
Oh, really?
I had the nice BMW of light meters. And had the module and everything, and I dropped it at Woodward. It quit working a year ago. And, dude, you want to know the difference?
Yeah. No, because Gutstains was that exact same way, man. He just refuses to...
I know my lights, you know.
Yeah.
I know my flashes. I know that those things are sunlight.
Yeah.
You know, so... I just I feel it out, and at the end of the day, my film's got my back, you know.
That's good. All right, let's go to the notes here.
What about you, Scott? When was the last time you shot a roll of film?
Okay, that's funny because
I want to hear it.
I am on the last frame of my most recent roll of 35 millimeter. It's loaded in my Yashica T4.
Okay.
I was going to shoot it of you to
All right.
use for the thumbnail of this podcast because
Okay.
it's mostly about film.
That's
it's a
good.
roll of Portra 400 Kodak color. And I actually used it earlier tonight shooting a friend of mine.
Hell yeah.
I have a Hasselblad in my closet. The whole setup, the
It's
500.
a really weird spot for it, Scott.
I know it's not doing much there. I'll tell you that.
Not a lot of light in there.
I think it's loaded up with some Ektar 100. I've got the 30 millimeter fisheye beat to hell. It still
You got
works
the
great.
30 fisheye at your Hasselblad's in your closet.
Hold on, man. I got the 80 millimeter. I got the 120. I got the whole shebang, but it's just not cost efficient for me anymore.
Right.
At the rate at which action happens out here, I have to be in so many places one time. I'm paid here to film and edit, mind you. I don't get paid to shoot. Shooting is like an afterthought for me.
It's
at this point.
it's your secondary hobby thing.
Yeah, it is. But my roots are there. So anytime I pick up a camera, it's intrinsic. It's in me. I'm
Right.
using a camera.
You're a
That's what I love to
photographer.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't mind it because when I film, I'll usually set up a tripod shot, a secondary, maybe tertiary tripod shot, but I'll frame it as if I'm shooting a photograph. And
Exactly, yeah.
Honestly, if it comes out great in an edit, if it works well in the video, it's just not as gratifying, but it's pretty gratifying to see it just play out, you know?
No, yeah, filming is a whole nother story.
Yeah,
That's
it's
some
tough.
shit. I don't even mess with it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. Do you do any video?
No, I used to make these videos back in the day, like me and my homies, but they were like rough edits, edited with iMovie. I didn't put a whole lot of heart into it. It's not my shit. You
Right.
know?
Leave it to the other guys.
I leave it to the professionals because I like the same respect.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, it's cool. But I would consider myself as good as the next guy.
Okay.
I don't like the editing, dude.
You don't like it? Do you listen to music? Do you like music?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not. I thought music and editing were directly correlated, but I guess not.
No.
Okay. I have here your favorite developer. So you're shooting. Your favorite film is Ilford Delta 100.
Yeah.
And then when you develop yourself, you develop black and white and color yourself. If I'm not wrong. I saw
Yeah.
you with that little
Yeah.
Jobo kit.
It's the Jobo, dude.
Yeah. You brought it here, right? Or you brought it on your trip?
No, I'm just gonna hand develop without the Jobo.
Oh, okay.
Dude, the Jobo's like this big. It's like this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But dude, the Jobo.
Yeah.
That should change my life.
Loving it.
Loving it.
So wait, what's your whole developing darkroom studio setup that you have?
So at my house, like I said, I live in the mountains, so we have a well house where our water's pumped from.
Okay, wow.
And the well house is probably like the size of this room.
Wow.
And we got plenty of storage at the house, so there's not like too much shit in there. So I boarded up the windows and built my darkroom in there. Got like an industrial sink. So I got a full wet darkroom, printing everything, and then and I got the Jobo, and that Jobo is amazing.
Yeah.
And it does everything for you. And I've always done black and white at home. Like,
Yeah.
that's cake. And, but I started doing color recently because I have temperature control now, which is the hardest part is like,
You're
regulating.
getting 68 degrees.
Well, it's 60.
For color, it's different, right?
For
It's gotta be
color, it's
hot.
100 degrees.
Yeah.
It's hard to make something 100 degrees for an extended period of time.
Right, right.
So that's great. And I'm planning on going to Freestyle tomorrow and picking up some E6 chemicals because I'm just like,
They're very caustic and toxic, right? You can't really
it
fuck
smells
around
horrible.
with them. Really? Okay. Yeah, I've never developed color on my own. I just
dude,
done
it's
the
so
black and
easy.
white.
It's so easy.
Well,
like
with the
temperature.
machine, right?
Yeah, with a machine.
Yeah.
But I've heard of guys that heat up their chemicals in a crock pot, But as far as the actual process of color, easier than black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, so easy. It's like a 9-minute process.
Oh, okay. Not
Yeah.
bad.
So I was pleasantly surprised with that because I was intimidated at first.
Yeah.
But my results have been good so far, and oh man, dude, it's dreamy. Like it's so nice being able to go shoot a roll, get home. I'll have it developed in 35 minutes. It dries for 20.
Yeah.
And then I'll scan it, and I guarantee I'll have my photos faster than any digital guy, unless he's really ambitious.
Not faster, but very.
Unless
that's
he's really
great.
ambitious
Yeah.
and he wants to go home and get on his computer. But if he goes home and plays Grand Theft Auto, I'm gonna have my shit first.
Which is like a normal thing for photographers or something.
It's already done.
Yeah.
I have to. I'm like, I don't know what I did. I gotta see this shit.
Yeah, that's great. That's actually cool that you can turn it around so quickly.
It's a game changer because that's what I was missing.
Yeah.
I was missing instant or nearly instant, or just the reassurance, the kind of gratification of knowing I got the shot. You know,
you still have that happy anxiousness after you finish the role and you're developing it, but you don't have to wait a day and go back to the lab and all that. So it's good in that regard, right?
Yeah, I wasn't patient enough. You know, I've always shot film, but I mean, I've gone through stints, probably like you have, where my Hasselblad's not. A roll started 6 months ago and that shit, and it's like, you know, I used to be like that a lot. Like I used to not shoot much, but once I got the Jobo, it's like, dude, I don't have any excuses. Like I don't have any, and not to mention, like, I'm a total film hoarder. So like I've got more than enough film to shoot at any given time. So it's already paid for.
Do you buy it in bulk, wholesale, expired? Do you fuck around with expired?
Yeah, dude. No, expired film is great.
Okay.
Everyone's like, oh, how old is it? Like, just complain about how old film is when you're buying it. But really, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Like,
do you cold store it?
Yeah, I cold store it. And, you know, of course, there's color shifts. But the thing is, you never see what it could have been. So you never know it's shifty. You just like, let's look. And that's the idea. Like, every roll I shoot is going to look a little bit different. And that's cool because that's the equivalent of me taking a digital photo, which is the same all the time. Like,
right, yeah.
Let's just be real.
Crisp and all that.
A raw photo is neutral, the same.
Yep.
And then, you know, editing it to do, I want to desaturate this a little bit, or I want to bump up the colors. And, you know, at that point, you're changing something. But, you know, when I get slide film back, I'm like, these are the colors. So this is what I want punchy colors. I'm going to shoot slide film.
Yep.
But as far as getting film, buying film, dude, I basically like look out on different like film photo groups on Facebook. Dude, those I don't know if you're part of a film photo group on Facebook. I didn't even know this shit existed, but I joined one like a year ago. Film Photographers is one of them. And dude, just having that on my news feed inspired me to shoot more film because you know, I have I got a Sacramento photographer page, and it's all these, you know, wannabe mom photographers just posting dog shit, and that's great. Like, that's cool. Like, post pictures of like your kids sitting in flowers and HDR that shit. I don't care. and then I got the film photographers group, and it's the same people shooting Delta 100 of their kids, like me. And I'm not special. Like, my shit's not special. Like, my photos don't have more feeling because of something I'm doing. Like, they feel that way because of what I'm using.
Right.
You know, so to see such a success rate from a group of people is so inspiring because you're like, well, shit, like, what do I have to be scared of? Like, people are scared of film for some reason. I feel like every time I talk to a guy who doesn't shoot film, he's like, oh, you know, I don't want to fuck it up.
Well, my least favorite part is handing it off to someone else, leaving what you've just worked so hard for and really like killed yourself over in some cases, and you're handing it to a lab. So, oh, we'll have it back tomorrow. It's like, just be super careful
it's
with
terrifying.
it, please, man.
Dude,
we got it.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
Yeah. Have you ever got fucked by a lab?
I've never been fucked by a lab, but a buddy of mine dropped off some Rolly slide film that wasn't marked D6 because it was like Rolly and pretty primitive looking, and the dude cross-processed it, and my buddy was like pretty bummed, and I was like pissed. I was like, no, dude, you need to be really mad about that.
Yeah.
Like, that is not cool. Like, he made your photos look like dog shit.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is, I buy bulk film from people who people just quit shooting film and then they sell all their film. Like,
yeah, no, it was a good time for that.
It's great, dude. I'm capitalizing on all of it. Like, this Jobo processor, I picked up 80 rolls of film with that thing for $60.
Damn.
Like, 80 rolls of film for $60. Like, I won't shoot that in a year, you know? So I just look for stuff like that because the price of film is high, and a lot of people they'll buy a roll of film for $7.50, and then they'll send it off to a lab for $15, and then they'll have to pay for postage for $5 more, and then now your one roll of film has cost you $26.
And you got to scan it if you really want to digitize.
And it's like it's a lot of people, if that's the route that they choose, film ends up being too expensive, and then they sell it to me.
That's how it goes.
And I'm like, all right, I'll do it myself then.
Name off some of your recent camera purchases.
Recent camera purchases. Last Sunday, I got a real problem, man. Last Sunday, I picked up a Rolleiflex 2.8C. It was made in 1953. this camera was made in Germany, so like the whole back of it has just German on it, and it's only been owned by one guy. I like got it from an estate sale dude, but one owner, and it's got a 2.8 Zeiss lens on it.
Not bad.
And I picked it up for $320, which is about 30% of what it's worth.
So are you gonna shoot with it? Are you gonna hold on to it? Are you gonna sell it?
No. Like I said, a lot of what I do is flipping cameras, so I'll sell that.
Where would you sell it?
Dude, these film groups.
Oh,
film photo groups. Like these people are nuts, man. Like people love this shit, and I'm not the only one out there. Like I said, like I sell my cameras to other photographers, and because of it, I've like been able to network around the world with other photographers, and like I just it's really interesting the way it works out. But I have to sell stuff so that I could support my addiction. It's like, yeah, dude, it's pretty bad. But
things could be worse, Travis.
Things could be worse. But as far as recent camera purchases, that was one of the most recent. But they're all pretty obscure, man. I try to find the weirdest stuff.
Yeah, is that what you go for? Is just the rarest of cameras, maybe?
Well, I mean, at this point, like I've had a Nikon SLR since I've had a Nikon SLR. Like I haven't got rid of it, and I've only accumulated more. And at the end of the day, like I know my Nikon lenses look good, and that's all cool, but it's not all that special. And like at this point, with all the resources I've created, like being able to develop my own film and do all this shit, it's like my ability to experiment is so much higher. Like I could do whatever I want, and it doesn't cost me extra money. Like I could shoot a roll of film in a funky camera, and I'm not mailing it to anyone.
Yeah.
So because of that, I've been trying to find like really old cameras. Like I've been shooting with like a old Graflex from 1930, and I converted it to Polaroid.
Nice.
Which this camera has probably never even shot color film before because it's predates that.
Yeah.
And so the part that excites me about that is like, well, shit, like I've created this monster, and now when I pull a Polaroid out of this camera, like no one else has this. Like no one else has a Polaroid from this camera unless they've done what I've done.
Right.
And like, so I like try to find old, like quirky, weird cameras, and I guess my outlet is shooting BMX. I like to shoot BMX with a 4x5 at Texas Toast.
Yeah.
And I was out there with a Fuji 6x9.
Right.
And I don't know, like it's motivating knowing that like I'll be the only one doing it, and it's also motivating knowing that regardless of whether my results are good or bad or indifferent, they will be different.
Right.
Like they'll never be the same as everyone else shooting, and like what the hell are we all doing this for?
Yeah.
Like we're all doing this to stand out, right? Like the easy way to stand out is just to do shit that no one else is doing.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna go shoot an old camera that I found at a flea market, and if I make an awesome photo with it, it's like, damn, dude, I made a sick photo with that really, really like difficult camera.
Yeah.
Like it's the most gratifying.
It's got to be. Most unfortunate favorite developer. We started talking about developers.
We didn't really say Rodinal.
Rodinal.
It's a shit.
How many minutes at what temperature?
9 minutes for Delta 100 at 68 degrees.
Perfect.
But the great thing about Rodinal is the dilution. It's 1 to 25 or 1 to 50 dilution.
Oh, wow.
So if you got a bottle of 500 milliliters, like
That's gonna last you a while.
with my Jobo processor, because it uses so much less liquid, I could do 50 developments. Like 50 developments. Well, one development I could have 8 rolls in.
Oh shit.
And with this $15 bottle of developer, like I said, dude, like the cost is only high if you want it to be. Like you could go spend $120 on the shit I have in my car right now, a crate full of items, and now your film processing's paid for. You can just buy all the black and white film you want, and it's great. Like people need to do it. You just develop film at your house, and it's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard sell on kids these days.
I know.
Although at some point when digital technology becomes just way out of line, there's going to have to be some sort of renaissance of film, I think, where everyone just starts shooting with a Holga again.
Dude, I feel it coming.
Yeah.
I think
right around the corner.
I think that I've got this like really crazy theory in my head.
Let's hear it.
It's not a theory. It's just my opinion, and we're doing a discussion about film. Like, let's just talk about it anyways. Like, I heard in the first discussion, you guys were like, "What's up with film versus digital?" And like nobody was here to back me up. I was like, "Wait, we're talking film versus digital," and then we're like, "Yeah." So my digital camera, I'm like, "Wait." So
Shit, we should have had you on.
but the thing that I think will happen is people are going to start to realize that what they've been doing hasn't been preserved. You know, there's no preservation quality, and because of that, you know, all the photos we're taking on our digital cameras, they're temporary, and I say that because, you know, you've had to like delete some photos off your phone at some point in your life, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you have them all? Like, do you have all of your phone photos somewhere?
I can actually say yes, but a lot of people.
But
I
a lot of
know
people
what you're
don't.
getting at. Yeah.
And not to mention, you know, your phone photos are they hold just as much weight as your photo of some guy hitting a handrail.
Yeah.
Like it takes up this. It's the same damn thing on your computer. And,
Yeah.
you know, those things are fragile, and you know, hard drives.
If you don't start a hard drive up once a year, that shit'll just burn out and die. It won't start up again. That should be a tip.
And-
Start your hard drive at least once a year.
Yeah. Well, and then my other tip would be. Keep your computers for the next 20 years also, because you're gonna have to plug your hard drives into something.
Exactly, and you know what I just heard? Some dude, they call him like the Lord of the Internet or something. He's some dude who's like research study, and he forecasts like the future of things as far as the internet goes. And he said that sometime in the near future, there's going to be so many different file formats and software that you can use to open or view or edit an image that. With the progression of things, there's soon going to be a format that old pictures, old JPEGs, TIFFs, PSDs aren't compatible with. So you're going to find yourself at a loss where you have all these JPEGs, and maybe in 30 years, everyone's like, what the fuck's a JPEG? You know, we have .P417 or whatever. Like, you know how it goes. Like, and beyond that, hard drives die. Like, they lose, like, they're fragile. Like you said, like, they're not 100% reliable. Obviously, I'm sure everyone's had a hard drive fail on them.
I have a dead one in my drawer right now.
Right? Okay,
You know?
so, like, yeah, people don't realize, I think, I personally back up my stuff as much as I can. I have backups of backups in some cases.
But it's still backed up on the same
medium. It's a hard drive, which will
Right.
fail me at someday. You know, like, but that's why they say the whole moral of this guy's story was to print your photos. The prints, like photos that you really, 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 really want to hold on to. Just make a fucking simple print of it. Go to Walgreens, make a print. Buy a printer, make a print.
Right.
Send it out, get a print. But like a print hanging on the wall, you don't have to plug it in once a year. You don't have to worry about it disintegrating or getting replaced by another photo. It's on your wall and you can look at it. That's what a photograph's for, right?
Right.
You know?
And that's, you know, that's the thing that I think, you know, despite the fact, yeah, it is as easy as printing. Like, I'll be honest, I haven't ordered any prints from Costco this year, or, you know, whatever, like, because it's so easy that we don't do it. It's so easy we put it off. And, you know, and the other thing, like, you know, with the data, like, hard drives are the thing that we rely on now, but, you know, 10 years ago, like, I could sell someone a photo shoot and give them just a CD.
Right.
Well, cool, here's your CD. That's your wedding now. There's your wedding photos on your CD. And now it's 2015. You're going to buy a new laptop.
With
and
no
it's not
CD
gonna have a
drive.
CD drive. So fuck your wedding photos, because I'm sure you haven't printed them because you got them on the CD and you can do it whenever you want, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, that premise, the preservation, is the number one reason. I mean, I could obviously argue, you know, as far as film versus digital goes, obviously argue the quality, which is a whole nother argument. And, you know, as far as that goes, you know, film formats go up to, you know, 11 by 20. So, you know, digital's got a long way to go.
Yeah,
But as far as, you know, just the preservation of it, like, I shoot photos of my daughter, and they're the most important photos that I could ever take. Now, the idea of losing those photos in a hard drive crash, well, you know, 1995, that would be the equivalent of a house fire.
Right.
Did the house burn down? You lost all the photos? No. I got a fucking power surge and my hard drive overheated.
Yeah.
I mean, so, you know, the likelihood of losing your photos in the 90s was slim to none. And the likelihood of losing your photos now is, unfortunately, Chris Mortensen getting his gear stolen.
Yeah, that's very true.
He told me about that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that hurts me, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
That's rough.
you know, your binder when it gets stolen.
Yeah.
You know, and like that, I was like, man, like that's my biggest fear. Like, that's a lot of wasted time. It's a lot of wasted energy. It's a lot of work to take that many photos for them to have the possibility of being lost. Like, the possibility of them no longer existing scares me.
Right.
So-
Yeah, that is scary.
So that's the main thing. Like, you know, preservation. It's,
Right.
important. I think that's what people are gonna realize is, holy shit, like now it's 2020, my kid is turning 18, and I don't have any photos of this kid when he was 2 because I didn't print the JPEGs at Walgreens and our computer, got stolen.
Yeah.
And it's like, people aren't gonna know what they look like as kids anymore.
That's wild. It's something to think about. Okay, real quick. Are you like studied in any other arts? You draw, you illustrate, you do graphic design?
No, I do. I can't even write my name down. Nothing else. I'm like full force photography. Like,
which eye do you use?
my right eye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seems about standard. I use my left. Although I've been switching it up with my new rangefinder.
What'd you get?
I got the X100T. It's digital. I'm sorry.
I know. I knew that.
All right. Do you want to go through your bag? What you have with you right now?
Yeah, I got a bunch of crazy stuff with me, but let me just pull out this beast right here, my favorite. This is actually similar to the camera that Dorthea Lange used, because she, when she was shooting subjects, she had to have the spontaneity of being able to fire a frame off, but also 4x5, you couldn't be using ground glass. So you open up this, you open up this. And so you can look through there for the photo. And I converted the back of this to fit a Polaroid back. So it shoots, it actually shoots full-size instant Polaroid pack film. And the sickest thing about this camera, which is what really excited me, is since it's got a focal plane shutter, you see right here, this opening, this camera will actually shoot up to 1,000th of a second. So, for shooting BMX, like I could catch bar spins with this and they're sharp. And see, here's how you do your settings. You set your aperture of your shutter opening, which is 1/8 of an inch. And you go here to your tension number 1, tension number 5 right now, which is going to be 825th of a second. So you figure out your aperture for that one. And then, you fire it with this lever over here. This is the earliest SLR. This is 1930. This is your first SLR, guys.
We've come a long way.
Yeah, it's come a long way, but this is it's reminiscent of a Hasselblad. You can tell it's got the same kind of idea. But yeah, that's the beast right there. I'm excited to take this one out to Woodward. I haven't shot it out there yet.
Oh yeah. And then you got your whole other Pelican case over here, huh?
Yeah, I brought the Pelican since I'm going out there. If you're only going to shoot film, you might as well bring a bunch of stuff. Let's see. I'll just grab stuff out of here. Yeah, it probably seems like I brought a bunch of stuff, but be too prepared, so. So yeah, dude, I'll break this down if you want a little bit.
Yeah, let's do that.
This camera here is the Konica Hexar AF. This thing was made in like 95, and what it is, it's an autofocus rangefinder. So I guess this would be the film version of your, X100.
Yep.
I'm trying to get it to do something here. It's just being kind of finicky. But the sick thing about this camera is that it's like super quiet, and it's even got a silent mode, which is just being weird right now, but the silent mode is quieter than a Leica even, so even now, it's super silent. So this is like my street shooter, the other day we were riding, and I just have this on my shoulder because it's so light, and it's autofocus, dude, so you just fire off frames. That's my little digital equivalent. And then this is my Nikon F2. This is pretty much like the most trustable camera in the world. All this stuff could burn down, and this thing doesn't need batteries. It's good to go. And the reason I brought this with me is because this 55 1.2 lens, it doesn't meter on my other stuff, so it kind of just lives with this camera. So if I want to shoot with this lens, which I pretty much always do, I use this one because look how sick that thing is. And I was actually shooting with this out at Toast also. And then the F5, which is basically the workhorse. You know, when I'm getting the action shots and I don't want to think too hard. And I usually use manual focus lenses on these. This is my only autofocus lens, the 105 f2, and personally, I think this is one of the sharpest lenses that Nikon makes. You could adjust your defocus image control, which will actually even soften up your fallout more. And you can see how it says that F and R. You could pull your fallout to the front of your subject, opposed to the rear of the subject. It moves an element in there. It's pretty legit. And it's an F2, so it's fast as hell. This is like a wedding killer. I can shoot a whole wedding with this thing. And then, this one's got the continuous, but I keep putting it on low for some reason. So I got my sequence, dude. I got my sequence shots if I need them, but I keep that to a minimum. Carl Zeiss 35 f2. Dude, shooting manual focus, I don't know any of you Nikon shooters out there. Try, just go buy some manual focus lenses on Craigslist, because shooting actually with a manual focus lens is unbeatable. You just focus on your shit and you just sit there and wait for it to get done, like it's golden. Well, I mean, unless you beeping your autofocus 25, 30 times in between shots. I know I used to, all the time. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, I hear it.
And then the beast, dude, the 503 CW. It's my Hasselblad. I've been shooting a Hasselblad since, probably about 8-9 years ago. And this is the TTL version, which, come on, I'm not using that. But,
Yeah.
I got the 80, I got the 150 in there, and the 50. And this little button here, dude. See that button? See that button?
Ooh.
Ooh, you like that, dude?
Yeah, where'd you get that? I saw those on eBay once, I think.
I got that at the Hasselblad factory.
Really?
Yeah, dude, the dude gave it to me. It came with like a 30th anniversary gold camera, and he just gave me one.
Damn.
Yeah, so that was pretty legit. And last but not least, dude, the almighty Linhof. This is the camera that was gifted to me by Richard. And like 2 weeks before Toast last year, my bellows ripped, and I had to send this thing out and shoot a different. I wasn't shooting this at Toast. I would have been, but I had to get the bellows replaced. And the dude had a stroke halfway through replacing them, dude. It took like 7 months. I never thought I was gonna get my camera back. Ooh. But got it back, dude, and it's my baby. And as you can see, this camera's got full adjustments. You could shift the lens up and sideways just to change perspective. And I shoot Polaroids with this thing also. That's primarily what I shoot. And the reason I brought this is because my Graflex doesn't fire flashes. Unfortunately. So if I'm going to be shooting anything, Polaroid.
Does this sync over 1/400?
Yeah, this syncs up to 500th of a second.
Okay.
And you can see the sick part about this camera is that if you loosen these things, I don't know if you ever shot large format, but you have full adjustments of the film plane as well.
Yeah.
Which is, unlike most field cameras, which is what this would be called, is a field camera. You open up the back. Let's see if we could.
I see something there, yep.
Do you see some lights or something?
Yes, hold it right there. Yeah, I see everything upside down above the, see that red frame up there upside down?
Yeah, dude, that's the good stuff right there.
That's sick.
And I mean, nothing beats shooting a photo of Dennis Anderson at Texas Toast.
Yo, out of the satellite dish, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, dude, that was the good shit.
Wait, were you handheld with that?
No, I was on a tripod.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say.
I was on a tripod. But see, the difference is, you can't be looking at the ground glass with this because you have your.
Yeah, you got the film in there.
Yeah, so that's what's nice about the other Graflex.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, dude, that's about it. I mean, it's pretty simple, dude, and this is all stuff I found for relatively, it's cheap. This camera's a $300 camera, like. For the price that kids pay nowadays for stuff.
Yeah.
There's no reason you can't. I mean, you can find this stuff all over the place and have some cool shit. And like this camera, here's a camera that there's only one in the country on eBay. There's only one in the United States. Like I have to assume there's probably not a lot of guys out there shooting that one.
So you're heading to Woodward tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm heading to Woodward tomorrow. I don't have any idea who's going to be there, so it's kind of going. But I decided to be ambitious because I get like a lodge room there, So yeah, I got some downtime in the evening. So I brought like a crate of, my fixer, my perma wash, my developer, and a dark bag and shit. So all my black and white film I'm gonna do while I'm there.
Wait, so did they hire you to shoot film and like show the kids film, or they just brought you in and they're going to be surprised to see that you're not shooting digital per se?
Well, actually, last summer I went the first 2 weeks as a VIP, and then the third week I went, like I had gone a few weeks and I was like digging it, but like, dude, like that Tony Hawk thing happened, and like I'm not even lying, like that really like bummed me out, like that.
Yeah.
That was like really, like I said, it was like a real turning point for me because I was like, dude, like these are the most important fucking photos I've ever shot, and I almost lost them. And like, it's like, that's a huge deal.
That is crazy.
Like that's a huge deal. So by the third week I went to Woodward, I had only brought film the third week, and that was the first week that I actually was an employee of Woodward, working for Woodward in their digital media thing. And I said, you guys, I'm gonna cover it on film. Like I'm gonna get you guys content. Like I'm gonna shoot stuff for you, but you just have to wait for it a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be different.
And they trusted me. They were down for it, and I got good stuff. I shot some photos of Gary Young and like Aaron Ross throwing his bike and stuff. Always good. And then I went back for winter camp and shot all film. So they're used to the idea now. But I just kind of wanted that instant gratification, man. I've gotten used to it, so it's not terribly hard to bring chemicals with me. It's a milk crate of chemicals, and like I said, I'll have film developed in 35 minutes at work. While the kids are eating lunch, I could have photos.
Yeah.
And so
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I wanted an ability to scan my Polaroids while I was there, so I could kind of keep things updated. And
that's cool. So how should people follow you to see your most recent work?
Killing Dreams, or
Instagram.
Instagram, Killing Dreams, or Flickr. It's flickr.com, photos by Travis. It's like pretty simple. But I got like 25 photos 25 rolls of film from Europe that I haven't even put on my Flickr yet, and like so much stuff. So it's kind of old stuff.
So you've been traveling a bunch, or you just did a Europe trip?
I just did a Europe trip for 2 weeks, and
just on some personal stuff or commission?
Well, I went to Europe last year, so I wanted to go again, and then Hasselblad wrote a story about me.
Really?
Yeah, you haven't seen it, dude?
No.
It's links on my Instagram.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You gotta click on it. Anyways, dude, they wrote a story about me because like I'm a Hasselblad shooter, and I went to Sweden. My grandfather's from Sweden.
Okay.
Anyways, I documented the end of his life with a Hasselblad, and then I went to Sweden to deliver his ashes back home to Sweden, and was in the countryside of Sweden, and I shot the whole trip on my Hasselblad. And anyways, Hasselblad saw my stuff, and they asked me about it, and I told them, I told them what I told you. My grandfather was Swedish. I documented his life, and then I brought him home basically because he was a Swedish citizen.
Yeah.
And they were they're trying to highlight the V system shooters.
Nice.
And so at the beginning of the year, they wrote this really cool story about me, having my roots in Sweden and Hasselblad, and they invited me out to the factory. So we flew to Sweden, and I caught a train down to Gothenburg, which is where the Hasselblad factory is, and I got to go to the Hasselblad factory, see where all this stuff's made, by hand.
Damn.
And this dude takes us into a conference room, a little cleaner than this, but
anything's cleaner than this.
And he opens up this cabinet, dude. It's this random cabinet, and he pulls out this wooden block with a metal circle on the front, and I have this huge poster in my house that's all the Hasselblad cameras.
Yeah.
And this is the first one on the poster. It's a prototype, carved by hand by Victor Hasselblad.
Damn.
And he hands this shit to me, and I'm I'm holding the Hasselblad prototype camera right now, this is nuts.
Yeah.
And at that point I'm why am I gonna stop shooting this camera?
Yeah.
This is my primary shooter.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a huge honor. I'm trying to take pictures of BMX and get fucking known, but like that's next level. I
That transcends the whole BMX realm.
Yeah, I can't even really. I still don't really have my head wrapped around the fact that like Hasselblad even knows who the hell I am. That's a huge honor. Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah,
Keep it up. Keep it up. Do you have any like big projects you're working on, or anything we should look out for?
My biggest project is just documenting my daughter's life.
Okay.
That's been the most inspirational thing for me because, like I said, the importance of those photos is so important that, I'm shooting photos of her every day, so I'm going to shoot photos of everything else with the same equipment, obviously. So It kind of just all works out. But, I treat it like it's a job. Like, every single day I'm shooting stuff just because, things change all the time. Like, kids are always changing, and you also never know, you never know what's going to happen. You never know when you're going to want photos of, 20 years from now, like I said, when it's her 18th birthday, I'm not going to have, one, shitty out-of-focus photo of your second birthday party. I'm going to have a book of Polaroids of your life, and, that's great. That excites me.
Yeah.
It's the most exciting thing. It's just collecting rolls of film in a binder, dude. Just, being able to... It's like a collection. I have an amount, a quantity, and my number one goal is to just add to that quantity. Like if I was collecting baseball cards.
Nice.
One more sheet in the binder. Hell yeah.
Nice.
So that's my biggest project is making my binder explode, I guess.
Nice. Cool, man. That's great.
Yeah.
Best of luck with everything.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. It was rad to come down here and shoot some stuff and chill.
Cool. All right, man. You heard him. Follow Killing Dreams on Instagram. Go to pushthestop.com often and pick up a roll of film and try it out. Maybe you'll like
give
it.
A shot. Don't be scared.
Word. Thanks.
Really, for the longevity of it, and it's sad to say, I think people need to stop worrying about images just being in in print media.
Right.
I think at this point, at least for me, I've had to bite the bullet, mentally,